This is a video by Richmond. Today we're working on a VW new Beetle. This happens to be a 2000 model, and what we're doing today is we are removing the window regulator and motor. First thing we need to do is get the door panel off, and we're going to start by removing this piece right here on the door handle. Get in there and pop this beautiful trim off. Underneath there will be two Phillips head screws that we have to remove. Now along the bottom of the door there are three T15 screws, and we need to remove those. Okay. Now for all our other crap. Now on the back of the door we have this switch right here, and we have another one right here, and then over here we have our door pull. That's it. Door panel is all off. Now on the side of the door you'll see this little seal right here with a T20 bolt in there. And we're going to take that out because we need to remove this lock right here. We got to bring the handle out and then wiggle that lock and get it out of there right now. Alright, I got my panel remover in there, and there she be. There it is. Now we want to get our handle out of there. So, see a little piece in there? Pry that like that. And remove our handle. Beautiful, huh? Okay, all out. Next thing we need to do is to remove these two triple square bolts that hold the latch in. I wish I could tell you what size they are. If you people are familiar with the Volkswagen, this is the wrench that we use to get the CV, constant velocity joint bolts out. Fits right in there. Don't know what size that is. This is an oldie. Been using this a long time. Okay, so we need to remove those two bolts now. Next thing we got to do is pry off these rubber covers. These are access areas to the bolts that hold the window. Now we have to drop the window down to get at those bolts. Now here's the two holes that we need to get at the bolts that hold the window up. So if your motor is still working, put your switch on, lower the window down so you can get at the bolts that hold the window on through those holes right there. Now in most cases the reason you're working on this is because the motor isn't working. So what we're going to do is we're going to disconnect the motor from the door and lower the window down to get at those bolts. So let's start by removing our electrical connector here. Pop that sucker up like that, and then remove that, and now we have 3 T30 bolts, and we need to remove those now. Okay, I just removed the bolts for the motor. Okay, there it is. It's all off. Now let's see if we can get our window to come down. Oh, beautiful. Yep. There are the bolts. They all lined up. Let me show you. Right there. And right there. We need to remove those T30. Actually, we don't have to remove them. All we have to do is loosen those bolts right now. Okay, our bolts are all loosened. Now we want to remove this window scraper right here. Now we can remove our window. We got all the screws out, and it was 11 screws, not 10. Now, right over here on this side right here, there is an extra little piece that secures it in, so we want to work on this side right there. Now, once we get that out, get that down there, the little seal right there. There she comes. Look at that, huh? Get that wire over there so we can work on it. Okay. Now over here you can see that that wire comes through the door, and we have an electrical connection here on our latching mechanism, so let's remove that, and let's get this piece out of here, and let's push this through the door like so. Shouldn't be a darn thing holding it now after we took half the car off. There it is. There is your door regulator. Jeez. Who made this thing? Look at that. Look at the latch mechanism over here. See, we had to disconnect those two bolts. Remember those two bolts right there? That had to free that up, and door handle. There's your track. Regulator. See the glass right here? Let me show you. Because went into this piece. See how it's a clamping effect? All it did was clamp the glass. That's why when you just loosened it, all I did was just wiggle it, pulled it up, and just took the glass right out. And that's what she looks like. See how the clamp looks? It's just by friction right there. So that's all there is to removing a window, a regulator, and motor from a new Beetle.